thrilled to be here and be part of this. It's an amazing feat to be standing here. And before I get into my talk, I'd like to this space is a very small community, and those of you who've covered the news this morning realize that there's been some really terrible things have happened in the Southwest and in Alabama, and I wanted to send our thoughts out to our friends in Alabama and in the space industry who are going through a pretty rough day while we're enjoying this really wonderful moment. So for all of us, I think we want to send our best wishes and hope things recover very well for you. Sierra Nevada is a company that many of you may not know. We have been around, though, since the 1960s. The company is approaching its 50th anniversary. It's been under the same ownership and management since the 1990s. We have about 2,200 people working in 20 states. And our space business, though quiet, has been in operation now for 22 years. We've had over 400 successful space missions, and over 5,000 things that we have built and developed have gone to space successfully over the years. We operated throughout the country in a number of facilities, and we've been really proud of this effort. Our program, which you see on my very high-tech slide here, is something called the Dream Chaser. It is a lifting body. It's a 7-crew vehicle that has actually its origins in NASA, starting back in the late 1980s in a program called the HL-20, which developed for about 8 years. Is one of the most developed and tested programs that NASA worked on. And originally, the vehicle was meant to be the lifeboat for the space station. We took that program and began working now about 6 years ago on our program. So in total, there's been almost 15 years worth of very advanced development on the effort. The vehicle is a lifting body taking off vertically and landing horizontally. It has a number of really key attributes that we think are quite good for this program. It has the ability to be a reconfigurable vehicle, so it can take all crew, it can take cargo, it can take critical cargo. It comes in and lands on a runway. We carry no hazardous materials on board, so the ability for our vehicle to come into and be accessed immediately upon landing is a very important element of what we're trying to accomplish. We have, in the CCDEV 1 program, we were the largest award winner in that program. And over the course of the program, we decided to focus our efforts on working on specific hardware tasks that really move things forward. In the course of that program, we built and tested our flight motors throughout the entire flight profile for the operation. If you get a close-up of our vehicle, you will see that it carries onboard propulsion. And that onboard propulsion allows us to have really flexible abilities aboard. And in fact, we have no black zones on our abort system all the way through to orbit. And we also have the ability to maneuver the vehicle while we're in orbit. Beyond the motor testing that we did, we actually began and built the first engineering test article. So the first vehicle is under production for us, and it is something that we have really been working hard on doing because we believe in our business that hardware development should go hand in hand with the software development and the preparation work that we're doing for the next phase. We're quite proud of being able to have won a significant award under the CCDEV 2 program. And under that award, what we're essentially going to be able to do is take this vehicle and bring it to atmospheric flight tests. So we will actually be able to take the vehicle up and test. And in fact, we have built a scale model of the test of the vehicle and tested it in December with the wonderful help from the NASA Dryden Centers and conducted a very significant series of flight tests from high altitude down in landing and reuse of the vehicle. We're also moving forward on being able to do all work, and we'll take the vehicle through the PDR stage by the end of the cycle in the CCDEV 2 award process. I wanted to conclude, if I could, by expressing our appreciation to Charlie Bolden and Lori Garver and all those at NASA. And this has been a really tumultuous time in the space industry. Those of you who covered it know, and it's a really difficult time. And I'd like to tell you a bit of a story, since I don't have any more of my slides to bring out. I think many of us are in this industry because we have a passion for it and we believe in what we're doing. And I had the recent ability to go through the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum, and I go there very often when I need time to think and to develop my thought processes about the future. And one of the things I noticed there was really three things in total. The first being that when you look up in the building, you see a lot of firsts, a lot of people who have done pretty amazing things. You wonder what would have happened in the past if the Wrights and Curtiss and Goddard would have been told, well, you can't do this, it's not possible, you'll never be able to make it, you won't be able to get the funds. We believe that we can do that. And I also noticed those vehicles are sitting alongside of many of our heritage programs. There's no reason that what we do can't work hand in hand together with the past of NASA and where they are now. I've heard and read many times in the last week about the end of the Space Shuttle program. From my perspective, I don't see it as an end. I see it as a beginning of the next step. I think Space Shuttle was a bridge to move forward. Our vehicle is based in large part on the successes, on the triumphs, of the challenges, of the pain that was been done in the space shuttle program. And on behalf of my team, who I believe I have the best team in the country working on this, I'd like to express our appreciation not only to the leadership in NASA, but to the men and women who have worked through this program to make this possible. We would not be here if those people didn't do what they did, and everything that we're doing in our vehicle, being that we think it's the emotional connection back to the space shuttle, has really been based on their success. So to all of you out there, I really do appreciate it, and on behalf of all of us, we thank you for your efforts and look forward to being that bridge continuing into the future. I'd like to turn it over now to Garrett from SpaceX.
Thanks, Mark.